I was the first blind student to graduate from Yale University. And I did that in 1974. I graduated. And this was before there was an Americans with Disabilities Act saying that you must do this for people with disabilities. I had to argue my own case about what I was capable of doing and the fact that the university would not hurt itself by letting me in. I was the first blind student to graduate from USC Law School in 1977. I had to persuade the dean. The dean had questions. In fact, during the admissions process, the dean wanted to know, how can we be sure that you can do the work? And I said, sir, the only way you can be absolutely sure is to let me in. And he did. So that was my first successful argument. And when I applied for jobs, it didn't matter where I applied. I applied to the Attorney General's office, the District Attorney's office, the City Attorney's office, and they all said, you're blind, and we don't think you can do what we asked our first-year lawyers to do. Again, this was before 1990 and the Americans with Disabilities Act, so they weren't hesitant to say why they weren't taking me in. You're blind. But there was one person in the Department of Social Services, the chief judge was willing to take the chance, and he hired me. Now, he was willing to do it, but when my colleagues heard that they had just hired a blind guy, they went to the chief judge to lodge their protest. They said, the work has increased. We need someone who can help us carry the load, not someone whose load we're going to have to carry. And then after I was there for about a year, one of my colleagues says, but we're impressed because you're extraordinary. I told him, I said, no, I'm not extraordinary. I'm just ordinary. You just thought you got something extra because you expected less than ordinary from me. And that's what I find that happens when people look at me and look at the fact that I'm blind, they think, he can't. But I was able to achieve what I was able to achieve because of this. I saw myself as no different in capability than anyone else. I believed in the possibilities. I was able to see the possibilities. And I committed myself to excellence. See, it was very important for me to see myself no different. And even when people want to say, you're extraordinary, I said, no, I'm just ordinary. I'm no different. And that's the way I had to see it. So, and I had help from my mother. I was raised in a family of 12 children. And my mother did not treat me like I couldn't do. So I had chores just like everybody else. Everybody had their chores. I had my chores. And I didn't think anything unusual about that. I should have chores. I'm part of the family. I should have chores. When I was in high school, I had a chance to talk to parents who had become parents of blind children. And they were dealing with, what should I allow my child to do? And they asked questions as I spoke to them. I was in high school at the time. And I spoke to them, and they asked, should I teach my child to tie her shoe? When my son wants a glass of water, should I get up and get it for him, or should I make him get it himself? Well, you know what advice I gave them? Make them do it themselves. That's what I had to do. And there's no reason why you can't, just because you don't have the use of your eyes. So I saw myself as being able to do it, notwithstanding the fact that I could not use these eyes. I was still able to use my brain, to use my hands, to use my feet. And so I could see the possibilities. When others couldn't see the possibilities, I saw the possibilities. And what I've learned is if you can see the possibilities, then, and you are willing to say yes to the possibilities, then you'll find the way to make it happen.